we're joined by Ronan Corrigan from the Irish Showjumpers Club. Ronan's going to talk to us about the Equine Hedge School's Gallop to Olympic Success seminar on Wednesday. Ronan, first of all, let's start. Tell us this, there's a lot of speakers on Wednesday. Tell us a little bit about the running order and schedule and who's speaking.
We've a very broad spectrum over the day. We start off in the morning registering everybody and welcoming. After that we move on to Professor Tom Buckley, who's going to briefly talk about medication control in competition horses and medication management in the yards, as there's new regulations to be adhered to. Then we move on, Tiernan Gill is also present in the morning. He's going to just briefly talk about equine transport regulations, which again is something that's in the public eye at the moment. And then we move on to one of our main panel events for the day, which is made up of a breeding, dealing and competition panel. We're very, very lucky this year. We've got two top geneticists and breeders in Luc Henry and Jacques Rames. And we've also got Pete Rymakers and Enda Carroll joining them. Okay. So we kind of hope that that'll be a very broad morning, dealing with everything from selection of your mares, your stallions, right through to producing the finished article for what Enda and Pete want. And an interest factor for people would be that our geneticists are some of the people who are involved with Liscalgo, who is Dermot Lennon's mount. So they've got a vast array of knowledge that Irish breeders can draw upon, and it'll be something interesting for them to actually look at as well.
And then in the afternoon, I know you have one major star, Cameron Hanley.
We do. He's very much in the media at the moment. But Cameron is in along with Trevor Breen and Brian Purcell. Our idea in bringing them in was both of the lads have been abroad for quite a while now, and they've had to deal with different owners, different sponsors, different marketplaces. So we want to try and emphasise to people training themselves for media, training themselves for looking after sponsors, presentation at shows. They're maybe the very simple things, but they're the things that we get very complacent with here in Ireland. And when you step into that bigger arena, it's important to be aware of them. So our young riders going abroad, even our senior riders going abroad, and here to up the ante. We're trying to get them that they're more media savvy, media friendly, and presentation friendly. So that's really what the basis of the afternoon is about. The lads will, I'm sure, talk about how difficult it is to keep owners when you're an Irish rider living abroad. It's a hard thing to do, so any little thing we can do to help.
It sounds very much like there's something for everybody. What is the aim of the day, the overall aim for the Showjumpers Club?
Our aim is we look throughout the year and see, are there little things that people are missing? And there's a lot of very, very good conferences. And certain people go to those conferences. We're trying to, I suppose, be overarching. So we're not a breeding conference, we're not a sporting conference. We're trying to put a little bit of something for everybody in there. So we're hoping we'll appeal to the equine courses that are running in the different colleges around the country, and someone who has an interest in media. They can come see how do you get involved. And of course for our riders and breeders, like that's very important. Riders, breeders, owners, we're trying to bring them all in that they can grasp a little bit, and they have a medium to talk to these guys that they normally don't have access to. So, you know, Pete Rymakers is a multiple Olympic medalist, world championship medalist. So to meet him and see his viewpoint on things. Again, he's having to work with his own kids and his own yard. So how has life treated him? He's had ups and downs. Cameron, who you just mentioned a minute ago, the same for Cameron. Like there's an awful lot of people have huge empathy for what's happened to him. But, you know, it's great to see he's able to bounce, he's able to come in and present himself. So that's a lesson for our younger riders, that losing a horse isn't the end of the world. You can climb back up again.
And you mentioned sponsors. The Equine Hedge School is very fortunate to be supported by Connolly's Red Mills. That's obviously a huge support. Yeah, we're delighted. Connolly's Red Mills came on board with us last year. They're our spring tour and our Hedge School sponsor. And again, their view seems to be to support things coming from grassroots up and to try and look after young riders. They're very great supporters of the Irish riders. Trevor Breen, who's coming in, is a Red Mills rider, and of course Bertram, who's talk of the world at the moment, is a Red Mills rider. So Red Mills, we're delighted to have them there. And of course Margaret Wilson is added to our panel, who works with Fordens, an offshoot off Red Mills. So we're delighted to have them there, and they've been terrific sponsors. And it takes place on Wednesday in the Killashee in Naas. For those of the public at home that haven't, say, pre-booked, how can they still go?
They can appear on the morning. We're more than willing to take them on the morning, or they can pre-book. If you look to our social media pages, you'll find how to book. Either it's Gallop to Olympic Success on Facebook, or go to the showjumpersclub.com website.
Okay, and it's 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock on Wednesday.
9 o'clock till 5 on Wednesday. It's a full day, and we will feed everybody and look after everybody on the day.
Lunch included.
Exactly.
Brilliant. Ronan, thanks a million for chatting to us today, and wish you every success on Wednesday.
Thank you.